Hello, our people. Hello, welcome back to I Take Thee. I'm Joel Cruz.
And Carla Cruz.
This corny stuff, I'm the one who came out with it because I like to come out with some funny stuff. Even if you don't think it's funny, I thought it was funny. It's my little props. Again, welcome back. This is our episode for today is the topic honor and cherish. And we want to just take 15 minutes out of your time to share with you a little bit of our own experiences. Again, we're not experts at any of this, right?
No, we're not.
We're just sharing our own experiences, and hopefully that will help you the same way it's been able to help us. Obviously, all of this throughout our Lord Jesus Christ.
And today I'm going to start off with honor. So just a quick definition of honor. Honor is honesty, integrity, and something to celebrate. And honor isn't based on a behavior. It's something that you want to grant to someone else. You know, in right now in particular, we're talking about your spouse. So honor is a gift. You know, it's a privilege. It's something that you're given when, high honor. And it's so nice how honor is a decision that you make. You know, it's not something that if he deserves it or not. It's something that you give graciously. And how much do we value our spouses, right? You know, that comes in honor. You know, you have to value your spouse, because if I don't value my husband in those moments, in those crucial moments, I get to look back and say, wait a minute, I know we're going through a really tough time now, but what is the most thing that I value about my husband? And that comes to honor. You know, one of the scriptures that I want to share with you today is Psalms 8:5, and it says, yet you made them only a little lower than God and crown them with glory and honor. I said, that's such an amazing thing that God graciously, we're below the angels, but he still decided and chose to crown us with crowns. That's honor. We are being honored by God Almighty. And how many times, often do we honor our spouses? And I was thinking a little bit about the movie, the episode The Crown, right? I love The Crown. I'm not trying to give it too much credit, right? But
gotta give credit what credit's due.
It teaches you so many things about honor, right? The Queen Elizabeth and how privileged she felt, right? Even she was young, but she was crowned. And I like that quote that we always use, that she uses a lot. It says, the crown must always come first. Right? And when you honor your spouse, we have to think about that moment that you have to put him first, right? Not before God, but in your relationship and what you're going through. And one of the things that I want to share with you of my own experience of honoring my husband is the time that my husband Joel decided to run for Hartford mayor, and he wanted to run for the city, and he wanted to be a mayor. And at first, I wasn't so like, okay, this is crazy. Out of your mind, in my head, I'm thinking all this, but, that comes to honoring your spouse's dreams. Something he was passionate about running for the city. He wanted to do something different. And as a wife, even though I don't like the political things, and I don't like to be in TV, and neither I like my family life to be intervened by media and things like that, I had to honor him in that way. And I just want to share an example about honoring your spouse. And I wanted it to give him the dream and give him that opportunity for him to follow those dreams. And that came to honor. And that's one of the examples that I wanted to show you about honoring your spouse. But also examples of honoring is, honor the dreams. We in our relationship, I honor his dreams, his visions, his passion about things. I have to do that as a wife, right? Because we also, as a wife, have dreams and things that we want to accomplish, and we want our husbands to also cherish our dreams, right, and be part of that.
Right. This is not a one-way street. Like, if the same way she will honor my dreams, if it's in God's plan, then I should also honor her dreams.
Absolutely, and honor takes time, right? I was sharing as we were preparing for our chat today. I said to him, honor's time together. And I said, wow, honor is time together, the quality time you spend together. And I said, you don't see no one getting divorced because they spend too much time together, right? So that's another thing about honoring. And the way you spend time together, you value that. You're honoring your significant other in the time of your relationship. And also the gifts and the talents that your spouse brings into a relationship, you must honor that. Remember when, people that receive the Medal of Honor, they receive it because they have done something extreme that no one else has done it, right? That's the person that's sitting right next to you. That's my husband. So I have to honor him beyond any other man in this earth. He is the husband I decided to marry. He's the man that I decided to marry. That's who I chose. So I have to honor him. And I want to leave you with this as well, so my husband can talk about a little bit about Cherish. It's also giving each other courage, right? Through the tough things, through the good things. You just give each other encouragement and courage and honor their efforts. Listen, it takes time. We're not perfect. We're talking about experience, right? So if he's trying on something that he has a weakness in, I have to make sure that I acknowledge that, because time takes time. Changes take time. And I have to acknowledge every little thing that he does to improve as being a husband or as being a father in our marriage. And I have to make sure that I give him credit for that, and that I say, you know what, I acknowledge that, and give him that credit that he deserves, so that he can continue improving our marriage, right? Because our marriage is one, right? We're taking you back to the altar, right? Those vows that you said to your spouse in that altar to honor and cherish, right? And how often we forget those vows, right? We forget those vows. So we're just trying to take you back, right, to those vows that you said in the altar, and kind of, are you practicing those vows today? You could have been married for 10 years, 15 years, 20, 35 years, but are you truly understanding what you said in that altar? And are you doing that today? And that's what we want to bring you back to that. We want to bring you back to the altar. We want to bring you back to those vows that you committed to your spouse. Are you honoring today? That's like a reality check. Are you honoring your spouse today? Because you did say that in the altar, to honor and to cherish. So that's what we're taking you back today.
Yeah, this one, if you notice, every section has like two things you're saying. One is for better or for worse. The other one is to honor and to cherish. And today we're bringing two together, and that's honor and cherish. And I want to share a little bit of cherish, and the definition of that is to lovingly care for someone, to protect, and to keep hope. And I like that definition because, this is not like just the husband making sure that they honor, or the wife makes sure that she honors, or that the husband makes sure that he cherishes, or she makes sure. No, this is a dual thing. We have to do it for each other, and never point at the other one like, oh, you're not giving me this. No, we're about you. We're about what you're providing. And so that word cherish really touches me, because, I think about the taking aside like our marriage and our significant others. Think about the things that you care about. Some of us care so much about our vehicles. Others care so much about our careers. Others care so much about, sports memorabilia, or we care about something so special to us. Like for me, there are things that I have from my grandmother that they're like the most precious things in material things that are in my life. For example, she used to wear this sweater to church, this white sweater, and she would just button the top button. And I actually have that sweater. So to me, it's an honor that I have that. But then think about, like, if I say that I cherish that sweater, would I damage or tarnish? Would I treat that sweater any wrong way? Would I just leave it outside? Would I, let it just get damaged? No, I wouldn't. Why? Because I care about that sweater. So now let's bring that back to our own marriage. How many of us have found ourselves in that place where we say, oh, I do care for my spouse, yet you're speaking, in a condescending way to her, or a condescending way to him. You say you care for your spouse, yet you're disrespecting. You say you care for your spouse, yet you're abusing, you're hitting, or think about it. Would I take a bat and hit my car if I really cared for my car? No, I wouldn't. Right? And so we have to be very careful that we take that word to heart. And I know I'm touching it's like a little thorn that some of us have, because some of us have some real bad attitude problems. And we got to put that in check. We use the hurt as an excuse to react in a very violent way, and some of us in a negative way, and others in a very hurting way. Because a lot of times it's not using the fist, it's really your words. And I'm not just talking to men towards women. I'm also talking women towards men. Because the abuse can go both ways. That's right. And that is not what's intended for marriage. Because if you said in the altar that I will cherish the person in front of you, then what you're really saying is that I'm going to care for that person lovingly. That's right. And not just lovingly, I'm going to keep hope. So even when there's a moment when you might disrespect each other or you find yourself disagreeing, when you say you cherish it, that means you say you're going to keep hope. That's right. And what is hope? Hope is about the future, hoping that things will get better, that we're going to be at a place that's going to help us find that moment of love for each other. Remembering that we said at our first one, love is about action. That's right. This is not like a little butterfly in the stomach. No, love takes time. That's right. It is hard work, and we must work at it every day. So be careful. When you said in the altar, I'm going to cherish this woman, or you say I'm going to cherish this man, yet you're using foul language and you're hurting them, or you're doing things that are not appropriate and that are not showing, you're doing really the opposite of what we said. That's right. In the altar. I'll share this story about this couple. The wife had a heart attack, and this is a true story. She had a heart attack, and they had already been married for a very long time, and her husband was in the hospital while she's laying in the hospital bed, really on her last days. And she already had her gray hair, and the daughter-in-law walks in, and she sees her mother-in-law in the bed, and she says, she starts looking, and then she sees the husband goes over to the bed, and he starts combing her hair. And immediately she felt like that's a perfect example of when you cherish someone. Yes. That even in the small things, you're able to take that time to just show them that they are that important to you. That even the little things like combing their hair when she couldn't comb her own hair. He showed her. It's like polishing for you men. It's like polishing that car. Because you care about your car so much. How about taking some of that time that you spend on your car polishing it? Why don't you spend some time with your wife? And wives, instead of spending some of that time, I don't know, caring about cleaning the house, which we're both responsible for cleaning the house. Take some time with your husband to be loving with each other and to be caring with each other. This is about the small gestures that we make with each other in a consistent manner to protect our love.
That's right. And I just go back to that scripture. God honored you.
He crowned you with honor.
Right? He honored you. I think it's time for you to give back and honor someone else.
Yes.
And what better person than to honor than your spouse?
Absolutely. I
think that's so important. And wives that are listening to me today, it's important and vital that you honor your husband. I have to honor my husband. And I'm sure that me giving back, I will also receive.
Absolutely. And for men, the same thing. Honor your wives. Cherish them. Show them that you care. This whole thing about like, hon, I care about you. I love you. Show it. A lot of times, the most important thing is the actions that you take. Take some actions of tenderness. Take some actions of love. Take some action of honoring that time that you have with each other. She wants to cuddle. Who cares? She wants to watch a movie of drama. Watch the movie. You want to watch Hallmark? Let's watch Hallmark. She wants to watch. Then you want to watch like Gladiator, which is my favorite movie. She'll watch Gladiator with me. Although she's getting sick and tired of me watching Gladiator, but that's okay. Just make sure that you spend that time don't, please take the time. Honor and cherish each other. We want to remind you all.
Yes.
You can like us on Facebook at I Take the Ministry. Watch us on our next episode, March 10th at 6 p.m., which our topic will be for better or for worse.
Another one.
Better be careful. And if you have any questions, you can message us privately.
That's
all right?
And share the video, share the conversation.
Yes.
God bless.
All right. God bless you guys. Take care.